Things I've learned from my family. Number one, trauma hardly ever heals itself.
It doesn't, period.
Trauma just does not heal itself. And I wish more of the people from my parents' generation saw that and knew that, because there are so many instances that I just see like trauma that is being passed down generation to generation. Hi guys, Murugi Munyi here.
It's Lydia KM.
And we're back again with another episode of
The Messy In Between.
It's definitely TMI.
Last shoot day of 2024.
We thank the Lord. We thank the Lord. But if you're watching this, it's not like we're still gonna have episodes.
There's
till
two
like
episodes.
Mid-December, yeah.
Yes, we will. But this is the last time that we are shooting, guys, and we are so excited to wrap up 2024. My God.
And I really like how we've planned ourselves this time. Like we've really been thinking.
I respect you.
I respect you.
I see you.
You're a businesswoman.
You look at you.
Hard
just
worker.
doing good things. Doing good things out here.
I'm so proud of myself.
Honestly.
And I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
Good job. Yeah. This time, because like we're not gonna shoot again for the next like 2.5 months, pretty much.
Yeah. We need that break, guys. We
yeah.
absolutely need it. And actually, to be honest, TMI feels like more Q4 because everything else is
just
right
so
here. So then now having to shoot TMI definitely adds to it. But we love what we do, guys. We always tell you we love it, we appreciate it, and we appreciate you guys for always being here, being present, riding for us all year. And when you're watching this, we know you've got your ticket for our TMI social, don't you?
Don't you?
We are doing an end of the year party. We are all a community and we are having this end of the year and you're going to miss it. How?
Please.
Especially you guys who maybe are not like, you don't have a specific place that you go to office like us.
Yeah.
So you don't have an end of year party. This is ours.
Yeah.
This is ours. It's going to be on the 7th of December at 254 Beer District in Westlands in Nairobi. We're going to have, the ticket is 5K and it includes 2 drinks and your food, guys.
Yes.
Like your budget for that night, really, you can say it's like, boom, done. You know,
exactly.
We're going to have a special performance. Wink, wink. Yes, if you allow the FOMO to eat you this time, we don't know what to say because we've told you it's gonna be someone.
Then afterwards, Paul will be messaging. Oh my God, I wish I had known. I wish I had known. Oh, it's going to be so awesome.
Yeah,
oh my
it's
gonna
be so much fun.
And then Sly was asking me. Sly is my makeup artist. She was asking me. She's like, okay, what do you guys mean by glam? Glam is just like a really nice dress and heels.
Elevated, just like elevated. What we were trying to say is not casual.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what we're trying to say.
And not formal. No, wait,
not formal and not casual.
Exactly. It's just like glam.
Yes, a little
like,
cute.
You know,
it's like repeating the word over and over again.
Cute and glam and like and glam. Cute and very glam, like, you know what I mean? Anyway, follow us on Instagram because we're gonna be posting all the inspo there, like inspos of cute red dresses, cute white dresses, cute green dresses, and places you can get them also. We literally
we'll do like some inspos and things like that. But it's gonna be so much fun, guys. It's just like tell a friend. We come together, we celebrate the end of this year, guys, and we end it with a bang. Whatever it was, by the way, it doesn't even have to be like the best year of your life. Whatever it was, it's done.
Exactly.
It's wrapping up.
Next, let's keep it moving. Also, the tickets are limited, guys. This is not like TMI Live where it's just endless tickets up to 600 people. We literally are only accommodating a small number of people. If you've been to 54 Beers District, you know that it's not like enormous.
Yeah.
So we really want to make sure we curate a really special, intimate, beautiful event for those of you who would like to come. So please buy your ticket as soon as possible. We know 5,000 is what you're spending on a weekend drinking with your lame ass man.
Oh my God!
When the check came, when the bill came, he looked at you like, babe, I swear. Oh.
Babe, no, Ntalipwa, babe. Like, see, I told you, the deal is
in Ivana, where lipa tu nitakutumia. So you see,
so instead of that, come
and hang out with us. Come hang out with us. The conversation is going to be buzzing. The evening is just going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. I literally cannot wait. I'm so excited.
We are linking all our we're linking our episodes with the. If you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening, we have the link for the tickets down below.
Right. I've just realized that the episode we uploaded today, we should have put the
yes, and that's why. It's not. We can still do it. We can still do it.
Oh yeah,
Nancy,
fantastic.
please do it if you don't mind.
Do you even want to sell the tickets? Because how can you not have thought about that until now?
And you?
Whose job was it to
And
do the
you?
caption?
You did the caption. You finished it. Finish the work.
Wow.
Do the work.
Listen,
Do the
you
job.
want to bring drama in this family. How apt. Because that is exactly what this episode today is about.
Family.
Is about family drama. Yeah, what a way to end, our year of shooting.
And the reason why we're even starting with this is because you're gonna get family drama. It's Christmas is coming. I'm sorry.
Yeah, bitch.
I would love to tell you that it's going to be a peaceful time, but actually I heard someone say, you wanna know if you've evolved, you wanna know if therapy is working, spend time with your family.
I saw someone else saying until I don't know why it's always oh, I miss my mom so much. I miss my mom. 2 minutes of being around her and you're like, you know what, I'm ready to go home.
Do you know what? Do you know what? Do you know what? I get it.
Yeah, but you know what Zach says? Because my family tends to be really dramatic, especially my dad's side of the family. There's always things going on. There's always a fight or something we're changaing money for, or there's some beef or something like that. So he's always you guys don't even save anything for Christmas. Yeah. You're fighting all year round.
There's nothing to wait.
And sometimes it'd be like that.
Yeah. Why savor drama?
Yeah.
Why savor traumatic experiences?
We are passionate.
You're passionate people. I hear some of your voices as well. You're just no. And then no, because at the end of the day, me, I don't even see how to do it. I'm just oh my God, it's July. It's July.
A random day, a random cold morning in July. What's interesting is that, so my family is like that here, my dad's side of the family, right? But the family I married into, and I don't know if this is just Kikuyus in general, but it's the most, nothing is happening. It's all very quiet. People just say, "Oh, we are all meeting for this thing." People meet and people go home.
So there's this is it. It's
but,
not quiet,
but it's in a toxic way. I think, yeah. Things are
Thank
swept
you.
under the rug. Because sometimes Zach will
take my mic.
Yeah, this is mine now. Can I? No, I'm not going to. Look at me you better not. You better. Yeah, because there's stuff happening, but it's all just brewing underneath. People, things are not said out loud. Us in our family, now the lawyers, we are confrontational. People will write in the group. So you think you can just disregard me like that? And you're like, whoa. What happened?
That is what I prefer.
Actually,
in fact,
yeah.
it's part of my
too.
It's part of my things
Your
that we're
point.
going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going so much. Anyway, guys, we've been watching the show Mkasi, right? This is where all the family drama is coming from.
Yeah.
And it comes on DSTV, Maisha Magic Plus, channel 163, Monday to Friday, 8 p.m.
Yes.
We started, 8 episodes are out now. We've watched 5.
Yeah.
So it's all about the head of the family. Of course, he's always going to be wealthy.
Yeah.
He's going to be he's wealthy.
In Kenyan shows, he's always wealthy.
He's always wealthy. He has this incredible company. And then he dies under mysterious circumstances. There's a side chick involved.
Who was there when he was dying?
Who was there? We don't know. We don't know if it's her. And there's a wife, there's a daughter, a son who's question mark son, because he really doesn't have a great relationship with the dad. Then there's a brother.
Oh my God.
That you
guy.
keep that in mind. And it's all go on.
So this is what they actually say about it. In a world of oil power and family secrets, one man's death sets off a powder keg of betrayal, greed, and vengeance. As the shadows of the past stretch long over the present, who will emerge victorious in the ruthless game for control and justice?
See, you see.
Now
add those characters I just told you.
Yes.
That's the mix.
It's just a lot is happening. So first, when we started watching it, because Lydia and I generally sometimes we're not usually we'll just see a new show has launched and then we are going to go and watch it. But this one, there's something about the way that it's shot. There's a
trailer.
Very moody. Yeah, exactly. It's very moody. It's very okay, that's interesting kind of thing. Yeah. And let me tell you from episode 1, Lydia and I.
What? That's the first thing you need
Literally,
to know. It comes fast, and I really love that. I think in the first episode we went to up to it's been a month now. I was like, what?
A month later,
You see, that's what I need, because it's we want only the scenes that are making sense to expanding what the story is about. So a lot of the things that came up here, we were looking at, we're just this is literally just happening because this is family. Because if all of these people are strangers, they wouldn't even be around each other. They wouldn't even be talking to each other. But because they're family, it keeps us there. Yeah. And so now we were thinking about what are some of the things that, because family is kind of you're here to do, what are some of the things that we've learned about family that actually there are lessons that we can actually input into other real life experiences? Because I guess even in the negative, there are things that we can pick up, right?
Exactly.
So that's what today's episode is going to be about.
Yeah, but definitely go and watch that show, guys, because it is
It's tea.
It's
tea.
definitely tea.
Yeah.
And DSTV keeps giving us banger after banger after banger. Not Kam U Stay, Shanga.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, no, and guys, I'm sorry. It's like it's us who kind of overput Western shows, but
sure.
DSTV are really doing everything they can to be creating local content that's actually really, really good. And I commend
really
them.
Good, yeah.
Do I get a little lost in the Swahili? Sometimes when we were watching with Zoe, she was just like, Amesema. But guess what? The way I learned any of the Swahili that I know is by watching things, and then whatever I don't understand, I just ask.
And
that's
for the most parts, I feel like you are being able to follow along. It's just like some parts
context-wise.
Even me, there was some parts where I'm just like, what did he
Mtana.
say? Yeah,
it's Mtana.
Exactly. Yeah,
this character, the brother to Mr. Kombe.
Mr. Kombe who died. Exactly. It's called Mtana, and I was like, not my baby's name.
It's Mtana. Now we know, not Mutana.
Literally, yeah. But anyway, super interesting. Watch it, guys. Channel 163, Maisha Magic Plus. So with that as the background,
let me start because I had a point of what you said about Zach's family. Something I've learned about a lesson I've learned from family is it's better to fight it out. So now, in the way that you're saying it, on my mom's side of the family, things are generally like thing under the carpet, like the toxicity and like the stuff is brewing. And you can see how it's affecting. There are some things that poke out, like a fight here or a fight there, but it's never really like confrontational. On my father's side, it is me and you, let's go. I have seen fights. I have seen physical fights.
So it's not a Kikuyu thing generally.
No.
It's just like a culture
but there
thing.
is a general, like there's an aggression that I feel like generally speaking, like Kikuyus don't exactly put out there, especially with family. There's a harshness.
Right,
there's more of a harshness when it comes to family, from what I've seen anyway. Because I think my dad's side, it's kind of a new. I don't see that as often.
Right.
Very confrontational, like picking up chairs. There's a Christmas where there was broken chairs.
Hands.
Oh my God. And what I've realized is that on the side of the right is that, yes, it's like, okay, now people maybe have to apologize, a bit awkward the next day when everyone has had a fight, but everything is out in the surface. It's not like this thing that eats you up. On my mom's side, the things that are eating us up are eating us alive. And you can see it kind of corroding, like the dynamics in family, like the relationships. It just eats things up so much. So I feel like now what I prefer is like the confrontational way. That's what I want it to be. Of course, I don't want it to be toxic and we're fighting all of the time, but putting things on the table, I think that's the best way to do.
I also just like that's. I think it just for me. I've grown up like that. Like I've grown up even in like my nuclear family. We were always like that. It's just kind of like when people are beefing, you're gonna know because like it's going to come out. You know, kind of thing. And I really like that. And sometimes it's not even necessarily that now we'll fight and we'll remain enemies. You'll see people have fought the next family meeting. Because now people have already talked about it. People have felt mad. Everyone has been hard.
You can't heal what you won't reveal.
Sometimes you need to like for it to be heard, for it to be spoken, for it to be acknowledged, and then someone to apologize or whatever. But now it's out in the open. In Zach's family, my God, I'm always just like, in fact, sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to say something. I have to ask Zach first. Is this something that people talk about? You know, or like to small things about like, let's say a death here or a piece of land here. And I'm just like, oh, so what happened with this? And he's like, oh, I don't know. I've never asked. I'm like, see, we ask, so we can find out, you know, kind of thing. It can be really.
It's my mom said it's not so harsh. There are things that are definitely addressed, but the general, I can see the two sides being like very different. Also, I guess is Zach's mom's age as well.
No, because this is like more even the extended family.
Everyone is like this.
Everyone is like that. Yeah, exactly. So you can imagine someone like me going into that family. I'm always just like, so we're really just not going to talk about the fact that,
Yeah, there are some dynamics I've been around as well, because I think my shosho's approach mostly is kind of like she wants to keep peace. She wants to do that. But I've realized that's not peace. It's just silence. Right. It's just silence. Peace is like what usually happens when actually people have aired things out and everyone knows where things stand. That's peace. But this one is silence. And it's okay. I get it. Sometimes silence too. But when the chaotic energy is brewing underneath, I don't know if it's helpful. And I now am that way. I'm very, let's put things on the table. And that's what I prefer.
And it doesn't always have to be like a catching hands kind of thing. It can also just be like, it's just like, let's talk about it.
Yeah, I really think
let's talk about it.
Violence is such a low-grade human behavior.
Sure,
so I definitely don't condone violence. But more, let's put everything out.
Exactly, yeah. Okay, whew, that's a good way to start. I'm just remembering in episode 1 of Mkasi, that part where like okay, no, I don't know how to say this without, anyway, there's something
There's
really
gonna be
dramatic
spoilers,
that happens.
like,
Yeah,
some
there
bits.
might be some spoilers, but nothing which is like in the long term plot. All of these will be in episode 1 anyway, where they like stop on the funeral day and you are like, this on the day of the funeral.
It's like, where's the decorum,
guys?
Where is the
let's just-
decorum?
Why can't we please? So much is literally we are on the road.
We are
way
on
to
the road, on the
funeral.
route.
Bloody hell.
Yeah,
that was just like
too
that's
much.
looking like my family. That's definitely looking like my family. Like,
Really?
people,
Yeah,
we've
that's
had-
giving my dad
We've
for
had
sure.
we've had like WhatsApp. We have like a family WhatsApp group for whole family. We are on our third one right now because the last two, it's like there's been a big blow up. The group has been closed. People have been given time to calm down. Again, we've opened.
Oh wow, you
we are
guys
on number
are doing
3.
the most.
Yeah.
But I guess you are many, aren't you?
We are many. We
Yeah.
are quite a
Yeah.
number. Yeah, exactly. You can imagine my grandparents had 10 kids. So now all the grandkids and some of those kids are also now in the group. So
Yeah.
it's like it's a lot.
Yeah.
Things I've learned from my family. Number 1, trauma hardly ever heals itself.
It doesn't. Period.
Trauma just does not heal itself, and I wish more of the people from my parents' generation saw that and knew that, because there are so many instances that I just see like trauma that is being passed down generation to generation, and you can see it from a mile away. In fact, for me, I just feel empathy for people as opposed to like feeling like, why are you acting like this?
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, I really wish you had been given
You're
the
repeating
tools
what
to
you
be able
know.
exactly. And even like people of like my parents' age and like maybe their siblings, their cousins or whatever, sometimes it's just kind of like, I mean, you know, when someone has lived so long and they have not been, let's say, to therapy or had access to those tools and resources, the likelihood sometimes I think of them actually getting those resources and tools is like slim to none, which means that is like trauma that continues to harbor itself in that family. What is the likelihood that their children are going to be able to get that trauma addressed? Honestly, sometimes it feels sad, but I've seen that if trauma is not addressed, it will never heal. It's just there and it continues to manifest until the end of time.
In different ways.
Oh,
I see generational things like that. Generational things when it comes to marriages in my family, generational things when it comes to alcoholism and substance abuse in my family. And it's like you will see, like, okay, so let's say there's 3 generations. You see generation B bitching about generation C, but they can't see that generation C is only doing what they're doing.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's like it's I find it so funny actually. Even in conversation, it's just like, wait, you
yeah.
are poking at this person for their substance abuse, yet we know you abuse alcohol and you have this same disease, and you're not even addressing to change it, as in, but the person who grew up seeing you should be different than what they're seeing.
Right. Yeah. Explain to me. But sometimes maybe it's hard for people who are in it to actually see it.
Of course.
But as an outsider, it's just
It's
like, sir,
1 + 1 is
literally,
definitely 2. It's definitely, and that makes me really sad sometimes.
Yeah.
And actually, when I now talk to my grandparents and they tell me some things that were happening with their parents, I'm like, oh my God, this maybe goes way back beyond what even me I'm able to see. But that's what we gotta. What we're doing is doing our best to change it. And also, there's also generational blessings. We never talk about them.
Wow,
Generational blessings too. Of course, for sure, I have generational blessings. Love is such a big thing in my family, especially my mom's side. I've seen that so much, like from her parents to mine. Like, that's something we're going to give. You know, we got to remember these things.
I guess so. For me, I just feel like when I never think about it like that, like, which is actually wrong, as you've said. We should think about it as like these are generational blessings. For me, it's just like those are like that's the way that things should be. But like the trauma, it feels like whoa, you know, it's just like that's really impacted. But yeah, you're right. We should think about it like that.
Should be is like there are many families where love is not consistent.
Oh, you're
where
right,
togetherness is even in the things that are traumatic. You you guys have a WhatsApp group.
Yeah,
there's people who don't have that.
That's crazy. Where do you fight?
They don't.
Where do you fight?
Oh yeah, as some of us who just drive 2 minutes, I'll find you at your
us now. By the time we drive 8 hours to fight with someone, really?
Yeah, you can't.
Yeah,
you see
you
now, like 30
can't.
minutes, I'm at your throat.
Not about your throat.
A lesson I've learned from family is what goes around comes around, and this is actually kind of attached to the generational thing. So sometimes I have seen a dynamic where you are doing this to your in-law, and now you are getting done that by your in-laws, but you can't see that. You are not seeing that who you were to your in-law is who now the people who maybe your sons or your daughters have married are doing to you. And you can't see that this is kind of like you're getting paid for that. And I don't know what it is about family, but that karma doesn't take long. It's not the ones of like your children's children. It's right now. It's right now. And especially the way you treat your parents, the way you treat your in-laws, you find that it's like it comes together. And I'm talking about you just being mean, being cruel for no reason. You know, this isn't like there's a back and forth. It's like you're being cruel to this person for no reason. But you will chop those same things that you are doing to this innocent person who maybe all they want to do is love you. You will chop it, and it won't be long term. It will be right here. Family has told me to be very mindful of being malicious and cruel to others.
You know, much as I would love to believe that that's true, some part of me just feels like, no, sometimes bad people end up having like really great things happen to them, though.
Well, for me, I've seen real life that you will pay. You will pay. For me, I haven't seen anyone getting away with it.
Oh, yeah?
You're taking the piss and you're being cruel to your mom for no reason, neglectful, mean to your mother-in-law.
That also you will chop.
Me, that's what I've seen. You will chop. And I'm not talking about your mother-in-law has been beating or being cruel to you and then you're retaliating and defending yourself. No, I'm talking about unamuliza nini?
Yeah. Gosh, okay, now I feel like I need to be mindful. I need to be like on the lookout for like how has that happened. My experience has been like sometimes there never seems to be like a rational way in the way that people and the kind of families that people end up in, or like the kind of situations, because sometimes in my family I've seen the most undeserving people get the best things, and sometimes I've seen the most deserving people not get the recognition or the love or the affirmation that they need. And sometimes in fact it makes me so angry. It makes me feel like kind of like, what is even the point? You know, like what is the point of, you know, like trying to do your best and trying to need good karma? I guess the point is that we are good to others because we are good people, not because they deserve for us to be good to others. But
but that rule still applies. I think some of the worst people are successful. Exactly. I'm assuming by the time we have done this, we know that Trump won.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, we were like, I want to vomit.
Like literally. Like I know, I have that understanding that sometimes the worst people get the best things, and that's that. Exactly. But me, when it comes to family, it's actually funny enough. There's actually a situation that happened with my shosho and Nguka, rest in peace, a couple of years ago, and it was something that really upset me the way they handled, like really, really upset me, and I said nothing. I told my mom, so because she's gonna be able to communicate in a different way, and also it's like. It's like there's a line, there's some things you just don't do, especially to old people. Are you guys crazy?
Yep.
And I constantly see people like not seeing it that way.
Yep.
Are you mad? Yep. This is an
old
person
people who do funny things to like old people or kids. I'm always just like, you're broken. You're broken as a person.
Inside.
Even if it's not your own grandparents, like just old people in general. Inside. Yeah, literally. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, there's some things I just don't play games with. Don't get it twisted and misses, draw boundaries and stuff. But
my some things you don't mess
stands up here and says some crap to me.
I'll be like, yeah.
Sure. That wasn't nice. Right. If she pushes back, I'll be silent. I'll go and speak to my mom. She'll know how to handle it.
Something else I have learned from my family. Let's go to something positive. How about
let's do that.
Although so far in Mkasi, I haven't seen one like positive family interaction. Well, maybe between the brother
and the sister.
The brother and the sister. That was
nice,
exactly. Who are the kids of the guy who died? Yeah, they seem kind of like that's seeming all right.
Yeah.
Although we know that things get complicated later.
Oh my God.
That's that much we know. Anyway, a positive thing that I've learned from my family is that together we can do more. And Lydia is the one who actually shared this one with me earlier. She's like, because I was struggling. I was like, what positive things can I say? In my head, for some reason, whenever I think of lessons, I think of like the things I've learned painfully, as opposed to like the things that have happened like as a result of good things I've learned. Like, wow, this is beautiful. So I definitely have learned that together we can do more. I have seen how times that my family have come together, things are just easier. Burdens shared are burdens literally like halved, quartered, or whatever. For example, just as a random example, when my cousin passed away a few weeks ago, it was easier because we were together, both financially, like being able to like come together, which, you know, sometimes it can really feel like, wow, it's like a burden on one person, especially if you feel like you're more successful than other people. You can feel like, oh my gosh, it's me to carry. But actually, you are giving 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 here, whatever, it adds up to a lot. And it really, really helps, because then no one person is left feeling like this is just on me. It's all of us coming together. And I love the fact that people are allowed to, at least in our family groups, people are allowed to, it's not like everyone must give 5,000. No. Because sometimes you don't have 5,000, but if you have 200, you send your 200. If someone can do more, they send more. And I really, really love that. I feel like actually my family is such a huge part of what I consider my support system, because even when things are happening in the family, there's like, we also have like mini side groups of like family. So like now your caucus in your small side group, you're able to like have like support there, and then now you're in the bigger family kind of like thing. It's like, yeah, I really give thanks for my large family. Yeah, I'm so grateful for it.
That's actually the thing. The thing that was top of mind when I was thinking about like how together your family is. That was like around your cousin's time. And actually, almost always when we talk about like, you know, family, you always say it's like, no, I've got my family, I've got my sisters, I've got my mom, I've got my husband. You always go back to where you're leaning on. So and for sure, when family is able to work together, like magic can absolutely happen. I think I guess I saw that when my Wuka passed away. And not exactly from my mom's side per se, but family in general. I saw how, like, you know, actually from like now our cousins and stuff and what we were able to do together as a family. We were able to like come together. There's actually a lot of what I saw. It's like an attempt to kind of at least have like some peaceful energy around that time. I think so. Yeah, I would say so. And as our family is not so big, so it's like on my mom's side, they had 6 kids. Right? And one of them like is in America, so even the kids are not here. So we are not so many, and everyone had 2 kids max. 2 kids max on my mom's side. On my dad's side,
thinking there's
2
so
kids
smart,
max.
Man. Yeah.
On my dad's side, there is someone who has 5 kids, but everyone actually no, but then only 4 siblings. And now there's some people who are a lot older, so we are not that many, to be honest. I actually don't feel, I would say I have a big family. We have an average size family, but when we come together, I think we can do a lot of positive things.
Also tied to that one, I would say, and I've just thought this one right now, is that everything is better when we are together. Like everything feels easier, everything feels manageable when we're together. And I would say this for like my nuclear family and my extended family. It's kind of like, even when we are struggling with something, when we are all just like in the same room and like we're here and we're talking it out or whatever, it just feels like things are figure-outable. Things are doable, actually. Having family, for me, it's like, if you have a family that works, it's kind of like inbuilt friends that you don't have to go out there to try and start forming connections with. Naturally, by blood, we already have the connection. So it's like, it feels like you're halfway there. So I do feel grateful for like the family that I have built, like this new one, my nuclear family, but also just like my general extended family.
Yeah, I feel like I think the older we get, the more lines are drawn in my family, the more it's just like, okay, this is out. So I feel like, I don't know if we're growing in togetherness as we're getting older at all. But what I think is that we're growing in depth. Like now where the lines are drawn, like now in those small togetherness, it's deeper. It's like way more connected. But way more lines drawn. We're just like, no, now there's like one big... No, it's not like that.
Not like that.
No, it's not
Which
like that.
Which is perfectly all right.
It's all right. It is all right. Maybe another positive I can say. Another positive I can say about family. Something I've learned about family is that when family is good, it's everything. When family is good, healthy, stable, it's everything. Because I can tell you, in all the happiest moments that I have, when I'm celebrating it with my family, there is nothing that feels like that to me. Nothing that feels like that. When I want to feel like my calmest and my most grounded, where do I go? My family. Like it's just like the place. And me, because my family now is like, it's all over the place. So it's like my mom and Tim and Ag are away. Then there's my there's my extended family here, and it's not like the way you're saying, it's like just this one big round thing. Mine is a bit more scattered, but I know all those places is where I feel the most grounded, the most at peace, the most supported. And sometimes I look at my family, I'm like, God gave me you guys.
Imagine.
God gave me
proof
you
that he
guys,
loves you.
that he loves me so much.
Right.
So much. So that's something which I've come to treasure, in that sometimes it's not just like, oh, just having a family, but having a great family, it's everything. And I definitely can't wait to have a family of, well, I can, but I can't wait to have a family of my own from that perspective, because to create something that's like stable and happy and healthy, it's, oh my God, it's such a good foundation.
Right. I remember when I was growing up, like I loved being in my nuclear family so much, despite my dad's struggles and like whatnot. I really loved like the times when things were good. Like it was just so amazing. When I think of like when we were, let's say we had gone on holiday together, or certain times when like just things were just like working out nicely, and just being in that family, like my mom, my dad, and us 4 sisters. It just, sometimes I would sit and just be like, what if the family that I create for myself isn't this nice? Isn't this fun?
My therapist told me, by the way, you got to think about that.
Girl, that was actually a real fear. Like, how do I know like that it's not, it's gonna be like, because I'll just want to go back to that one, you know what I mean? But you see how now when I asked myself like, what makes a family like fun and nice and like wanting to be a part of it, and I realized, okay, one, it's like also just the personalities of the two people. Are your mom and dad friends? Because I realized that was the root of how what made our family work, is like my mom and dad were just friends, and they were just like fun, kind of thing. So it's like, okay, fine, as long as I marry someone who I'm friends with and I have fun with, I'm already halfway there. So there's that, and then now there's the culture that you build in the house, which I mean, when I think back, I don't know if my parents were like intentional about building those cultures, but they were there. And it was just like, this is fun, like the fact that we celebrated birthdays, the fact that we went on holiday, the fact that I don't know, we would go out to eat lunch, Sunday lunch all the time. Those are the things, the actual things happening, and then us experiencing them together is what made it fun. And then now, recently, I've been thinking about this. Actually, I was thinking about it yesterday when watching Mkasi. It's like, when someone just says the word family, do you automatically think mom, team, ag, or do you automatically think shosho, guka, cousins all together? What, like when you just think family, my family?
Yeah, no, I think about everyone.
Like, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about, I don't think just us. No. I think about everyone, like anyone who's related to me, from the perspective of like brothers and sisters, and now my mom's sibling and my cousins. That's it. Those are the parameters. Mom, dad, uncles, aunties, cousins. That's what I consider family.
So when you hear the word family, that's the first thing you think of.
I think of everyone.
Because I remember an episode we were shooting where someone was like, oh, there's a difference between family and relatives. And do you remember us when we were talking about? I can't remember what was that episode. But when we're watching this episode, and the brother came and stopped the what do you call it? The thing that was happening. I asked myself, it's like, when I look at someone else's family, it feels like to me, once this person has now gotten married and has his own kids and whatever, or like a woman has gotten married and has their own kids, now those ones are no longer family. Those ones are now relatives. The other people, like now their brother, their sister, their mom, or whatever.
Put it into,
so like for example, like let's say now, when now Zach has gotten married to me, right? So it's like, now we are Zach's family. Me, our kids, we are his family.
But his mom isn't.
Yeah, so it's like secondary. Like now, it feels like they're now secondary. We are not at the same, we don't have the same rights to Zach. Do you know what I mean?
Does Zach feel that way?
No, I don't even know. And actually, yesterday now is when I was thinking about it, because I was like, I didn't realize that I actually do think that. But I do actually think that, because in my head, my dad's family, it's like, yeah, his brothers and sisters and whatever. Yeah. But really, my dad's family is us. Like his wife, his kids.
Yeah. So then, okay. So in that same way, when Nelly gets married, is she now done? She's like on that side, and she doesn't have the same rights to you as Zach. And it's easier when you point it that way.
But it's
easier when you point it out that way, because I see that you feel that way for Zach's side. Yeah. But with your family is very much still your family.
And that's what I find perplexing, because I was like, yes, I was thinking, where is the brother coming in? Like, you can't now be interrupting, and this is the wife and kids are here.
But if Nelly jumped for you, it would be like, makes sense.
Yeah.
This is correct.
So I actually need to then query, like, what, when I think family, like, how does it in my head? Because I really struggle sometimes to, like, imagine the way I am with my family is the way other people are with their families. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everyone feels like their way is special. Their love is more special. There's no one who's more in love than us.
Ours is unique. Ours is very unique.
It's special and
even
unique.
I am with my sisters. It's not the way you are with your
there's
sister.
No way. Yours is better. Always. You always feel that way. I think a lot of people feel like in-laws are relatives. So
yeah, definitely.
There you go. So that's the difference. That's the difference.
Right.
It's like in-laws are relatives, but my family is my family.
Yeah, and for me, family in my head is like people who I know I can call and count on in the worst situation or circumstance. You know, kind of like, for me, that's like family. You know, like the people who is just like they're in your life, and like if something was to happen right now, you've been diagnosed with cancer and you need to raise 50 million, you can call your family.
Right. Okay. So you see that, like, that's family where there's like relationship, but there's the people who are very much family to me, but you can't do much to me. You can't do much for me. Like, it's not really about that, but you're my family. Yeah.
God, sometimes I hate thinking deeply about things, because then it just gives me a headache. Do you know what I mean?
It's too much. Yeah.
Here's another thing I've learned from family. Now that we've spoken about like illness and whatnot, my family has taught me to save, money, because everyone is literally one disease away from poverty if you are not saving, if you are not thinking in advance. And the reality is, I can actually not tell you any single person that I have interacted with in my life who has not had a super sick person in their family.
Yeah.
Disease comes to anyone or can come to everyone. And I have seen how disease sometimes can ravage people's resources to the ground. Even with your NHIF, even with your insurance. If someone now needs a 70 million... former NHS, currently God. I have seen how it can literally ravage people. We've had illnesses in our family. My Guka, who passed on, he had a rare form of cancer. And then I had an uncle as well, my mom's brother, who passed on a long time ago, and he also, I think, had a rare form of cancer. Both my grandparents on my dad's side had that as well, and I've seen how much it takes.
Really?
You can be super financially stable, but a disease comes, and there's no way that even if we are saying we are all contributing, it's your mom.
Yeah.
She's in hospital right now. We need to pay 2 million.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
I
it's
definitely
like save.
get it.
I will and it's not even save. It's like save for a rainy day, but also just, I don't know if there's anything we can do really to cushion ourselves from like what the future could hold. But sometimes I've seen people in my family be like, we should have thought in advance, but no one ever thinks it's them getting the cancer or their husband getting the cancer, but it could be.
Yeah. I think the only experience of this I think I've seen is with my cousin, she's mom, where there was like a long-term disease, I think. And I guess because that's where I was kind of somewhat interacting with like the dynamics of finances, whereas maybe everyone else, I feel like maybe like now my guka or my shosho is like it's handled by somebody else, so I'm not able to see like really the details of it. But that one I saw, it was just like fundraising after fundraising after fundraising, because it's like, you first of all, you never know with the disease how long this is going to be. This person, it could be like it ends tomorrow, or it ends in like 5 years time
or 15 years
and
time.
This is consistently like something that's taking money. That's a really good point. But sometimes what I feel is like you can't save enough for the amount of potential emergencies
illness
that could happen. It's that gives me so much anxiety, because it could be anything at any time.
Right. And already now, if, for example, you know you're the breadwinner in your family, or you're the person who has the most resources, you know, it helps, obviously, if you're in a really rich family, because then you're just like, okay, fine, I know that things will be taken care of. But if you're not, that's definitely anxiety-inducing, certainly.
The other day, I interacted with someone, and their family is like, everyone is wealthy.
Oh, how lovely.
People kind of take care of themselves. They never, ever think about anyone and how or what could happen.
Who is that?
I'll tell you.
Do like this and tell me right now so I can have context. Oh, wow.
Very wealthy, coming from a wealthy family, not thinking about anything or anyone, and everyone takes care of themselves.
Everyone takes care of themselves.
Yeah, because everyone went to like great schools because they were like all the siblings of their parents were all wealthy. They did great for themselves. So their kids did great for themselves. Everyone takes care of themselves individually.
In their own family.
People have health insurance. So it's just like, oh yeah, I went to the hospital. Like, yeah, like got like 2M down and what the hell
Let's
is
sit
that?
in that for a second.
Like, is that my utopia? Is that our utopia?
It's not. Again, from the show, they are a rich family, but look at the fucking drama they're going through.
Yeah, but no, this one's not like that. Everyone's just kind of a together kind of. I know you want to add something negative.
No,
so that
there has to be. All I'm trying to say is that money is not the solution to all your family problems.
It's
not.
Yeah,
definitely
but can
not.
you like what even is that? I didn't
Yeah.
realize that that's something which I can't conceptualize. You don't have to worry about anything or anyone.
That would be lovely. Is that how God intended for the world to be?
I don't know.
I would imagine that it is, because that feels like perfection. Because then I imagine we are able to interact with others from just a point of just like money adds something to any kind of relationship. It definitely adds something. Like there's a nuance, or there's a I don't know, something that money does to relationships, which even though it's just like, yes, unconditional love, and it's like, I love you even if you're broke or whatever, once money is introduced to any kind of relationship dynamic, it definitely impacts it in one way or another.
It does.
And how lovely would it be to be able to interact with people not from
like I am choosing to be in this, hanging with you, chilling with you.
Like you. I feel like with you, it's just like, this is how it will be with everyone. It's just like,
hi, you all right?
Yeah, there's no,
good,
like, that's not even a, wow.
I
love that.
Love that
for those of you who are living that reality.
We
are
love
very
you
happy
guys for you.
We
not
really
envious
happy.
at all. This is not cause for you to be blocked or anything.
But just tell us who you are in the
tell
comments.
Us who you are.
We'll just see what we want
just
to check.
Clear
something.
the roster.
I just want to check something.
That happens.
Yeah,
it's true. But you're right. Money is not everything, guys. And some people who have a lot of money literally are going through the thick of it. Actually, you don't even have to look far. Just look at all these big chains of like supermarkets and things like that, or like very wealthy people. What happens when someone dies, maybe?
But me, I would rather those problems. Let me tell you.
Yeah,
I feel like those problems are better.
I deserve 2 billion.
No,
I deserve 2 billion.
He said you should keep 1 billion.
No, it's
Mine
2.
Is
Why? I was his favorite. That's what he's.
1 billion is not enough for me.
Yeah,
it's not enough.
My lifestyle. Just see my lifestyle. What's 1 billion?
That would be really nice.
Yeah, that would be so.
You
nice.
can still get us that. You know that.
I can.
Yeah.
I should think about who I'm marrying, shouldn't I?
No, you should think about how you're making the money. Why would you automatically think about who you're marrying?
Because I'm done. I have 2 working days left in me. 2 working days left in me. That's
me
it.
Trying to make her strong, independent woman. Her trying to. Who asked for that?
I'm done. I have done my strong, independent.
You're done?
I'm done. I'm wrapped up.
I'm sorry, baby.
Another thing that's positive about family that I've learned is you don't have to be perfect to be truly, genuinely loved. And I know it's like that usually comes from the perspective of like, we really tolerate so much with family. But as much as that it seems like tolerance, like when you do find those really wonderful relations in your family, you realize that they see you. They see all of your flaws. They see all the way you handle things, like the way you just are. They see it all, and they love you so much.
No one talks about how nice it is to just like be. You see how, especially when you become like a different, like now in your lifestyle, it's like you're celebrity-ish, you're famous-ish, but like your family knows you. They've been there since when you were scratching your ass and smelling your fingers. They've been there since when you were throwing up on yourself. They've seen like the most messy ass parts of you.
And they don't care about that side.
Yeah,
that is the best thing. Like actually, like I had shared this like after like something like as wonderful and big and like really really high energy dopamine filled experience like the TMI live experience. I go to my family.
Yeah.
It's like I'll show them pictures. I mean, they get it,
like,
but like,
yeah,
you know. And like he's like, oh yeah, that's nice.
Keep you
and,
humble.
And there's something about that to be seen as who you truly are without any of the other excessness, and just to be loved.
Exactly, it's so good.
So wonderful.
I actually think of like how, I mean, family members who I love deeply, and not because of anything they have done, where they work or whatever. It's just kind of like, I just love you. And it's just like you who you are just as a person. It's just like you don't have to
all
do
your
anything.
flaws. I see them.
And I love them.
I love, and I don't even think about it. It's such a wonderful feeling. If you have that with family, it's like the most beautiful feeling. Recently, like I had like a bit of a healthcare, I guess. Like I wasn't eating enough, and then I had to get some tests done, and they found that I was having like some heart palpitations. And it's all because of like lifestyle and like maybe not eating enough and maybe being anxious because things are just like so up here. And then I guess I told my auntie, who now obviously told my shush. So my shush told my uncle, and then my auntie also told my cousin. And I got all this, like, I've been getting these check-ins this week of like, oh, okay, how are you? Have you eaten? Like, make sure you eat. It's like, it doesn't matter if you're working and what you're doing. Like, you've got to take care of yourself. And it's just like so many people are really so concerned
about the
tiniest little thing for you. And it's like maybe in those moments, like my uncle from America called me, and I was just saying, oh, I'm in the middle of work. Or he's like, yeah, Shush told me that you weren't feeling well, and I just called you. And it's like to think of those little ways that family come together to just remind you that you really matter to us and we love you so much. So that sense of like it feels like unconditional love is so beautiful to feel.
I'm loved at home. At home, I'm loved.
Just and that's what like I heard someone talking about parenting, and like how can I? Oh, actually, it was our fucking podcast.
Oh, this one. I see. We be saying shit. We be saying shit, which are really great.
When Rix the poet had come on, and you were talking about like like how do I make sure I'm giving my son like the room to navigate masculinity and to know that he's loved. And he told you as long as your son knows he's loved at home, whatever is rooted from that is always good. It's
always good. Yes, actually, we love that. And that's where confidence is built. I think because now out there you'll tolerate whatever, but be like at home, I know that if I go home, they will accept me. They will love me. And there's no but to that.
There's no but.
There's no but.
If nothing, it's just they love me and period.
Just that,
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, tied to that, I would say that family has really taught me that there is amazing tangible value beyond money, which if you know from watching this podcast, even though I've come a long way, but I feel like there is a way that sometimes as I was growing up, I really, really valued the concept of like money and felt like it's like if you're able to contribute that, you're really giving the most.
Oh, right.
But actually, that is definitely not the case. And with families, what you realize, and I think you said something like this around the time your Guka was sick, that there were different ways that your family was being able to show up for him beyond money. So there's someone who's only able to send money, let's say your mom who is away, but there's someone who is here who is able to drive him to the hospital. There's someone else who may be able to like get fruits from the market because they know someone there or something like that. There's someone else who can just sit with him and like talk to him, read his WhatsApp messages or something like that. And all that is so valuable. My God, it is so valuable. Sometimes it's even more valuable than the money that someone is giving if it's just being given from a point of like, okay, here, take the money, which obviously if your family loves the person, then it's not the case. But it has really, family has really enabled me to see that there's so much more to giving than money. So much more to giving.
In fact, I actually say that people who give time give the most because it's like, try and spend one day doing something of service to other people. You will send that
keyword
100K.
Keyword service.
You will send that 100K because it's just so like, wait, because I can send it and then that's it. And then that I'm not thinking about it. Whereas now when you're there, you are emotionally invested. Your mind is invested. Your time sacrifice, energy sacrifice. And then you carry that whole experience with you all the time. But the money you sent is like,
you sent it and it's done. Exactly.
You don't. So definitely like there's value in every single person. And I think most of the family where people are able to see that is where they work together the most. Because I feel like especially with my cousins from my dad's side, we really see each other that way. It's like, I might be the one who's contributing financially, but you're doing this. You are going to be the one who does the shopping and what we respect each other from that perspective, and nobody's vote in anything has more weight. It's like, no, we are all together. We are all doing this. And everyone is respected individually. I really love that. And it breaks up when it's not that way.
Oh my God.
When there's that hierarchy.
Then it's problematic. What would you say that death in the family has taught you this year? Because we've both experienced death in the family. Mkasi has starts with a death in the family, and I definitely feel like something like that really shakes things up in our home. What would you say you've learned from the death in the family?
God, that I would go to the ends of the world for my family. I would go to the ends of the family. It's made me value them so much more. Like I always valued my family, but now it's like it's something very, very different. And then experiencing pain together is something that, like, first of all, it teaches you a lot about how everyone handles pain. That's something we really saw. It's like, okay, so this is what you do when you're in pain. This is how you're coping. Like, you get to learn different ways people deal with that. So you get to see them in a very different light.
Do you know that's one of the things I'm worried about? Like, me and Zach have never experienced pain like together.
Really?
Yeah, because like what painful thing has happened that has affected us both? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that definitely takes a relationship between any two people to like another level when you both experience pain together.
Oof, yeah, definitely. Now, a lot of times, because obviously you're split, unless it's like a shared person who you've lost, that you know that's the one, but you're not going to experience that in your lifetime. Amen. But now it'll be like maybe someone on your side or their side. So it is pain, but it's different. But now it's like it will still teach you something about them individually. So I would say what's most come to the surface is that, as me, I always go to see my family. I spend a lot of time. It's worth it. It's worth the drive. It's worth the petrol. It's worth the time. Because when you're done with time, now what can I do if I wanted to see my Guka now?
You literally can't.
No matter what I'll do, there's nothing I can do. So when you can't do something, do it.
Exactly.
Oh yeah. What definitely. About you?
Oh my God. I think I would say the same thing. I would say the things that need to be said today. And I think maybe this goes back to our very first point about like just being open to talk about things. I feel like with the deaths that have happened in our family, I don't feel like there's anything that went unsaid necessarily, but there's definitely ways in which, especially for my cousin, the one who passed away most recently, there was more ways that I feel like we could have been more involved in his life. So he did come into our lives like a lot later, and we were like somewhat involved, but it was more around just like when we're having an event is when we would be together or whatever. But in terms of like the day-to-day living, day-to-day life, it's kind of just like if you're not engaging on the WhatsApp group, really we're not that involved, you know. And then when you have many cousins, it's kind of just like get in line, let's all chat, you know, kind of thing. So if someone is not really engaging, unless you're taking the time to be like, hey, how are you doing? How are things going? Since he passed, now I be messaging people randomly. Really? Just like, I was just thinking of you and I just hope you have a good day. I hope there's, you know, I hope that everything is going okay, kind of thing. And just like being able to plug into people's lives. I realize that sometimes I shy away from doing that because I don't want to open a door to having to set boundaries. Do you know what I mean? But now
they're coming too much.
Exactly. Now it's like, yes, I know I had asked how you are doing, but I don't want to pay your rent actually right now. I actually don't. But now I'm just like, okay, why am I just assuming it's going to be that? What if someone is able to plug into your life? What if somebody has something that could benefit you? What if it could be like a beginning of like a beautiful deepening of that connection kind of thing? I feel like I want to, and even the more I was thinking about like, oh, I want to expand my friendship circle or whatever, or have more friends. I'm like, already you have cousins who you don't even speak to, who you haven't had that one-on-one conversation with for how long. I really want to be intentional about that, to just like, you know, let it not be that, oh, but you guys never reached out to me. Okay, now here we've reached out. You know, kind of thing.
I think that definitely brings things to the surface for sure. It's like you don't have as much time as you think.
Oh my
you gosh. Really do not. Like, just take the drive, because I know you've been driving to Vasha every other weekend for the party.
But
go see your shows.
The line.
Go see your shows. Go see your Guka. And I'm talking about people who have like great people, because sometimes people go to their grandparents, they're tribalist and mean and cruel. They don't accept your partner. You know, we're not talking about them. We're talking about the ones who, you know, you definitely should see more. Like, once they're gone, they're gone. Yeah, that's really put things to the surface. Another thing is that I've been working on forgiveness with the family members who we are not close. And actually, I've been feeling...
All of them?
Huh? Yeah.
Wow.
Dead ass. Yep. I have released it. I prayed on it for a while, like maybe like a month or so ago. And I was just like, I don't want to harbor anything like negative in my heart for anyone, especially least of all people who we are related with, you know?
Forgiveness and reconciliation, or just forgiveness?
Forgiveness, for sure. Only because reconciliation includes somebody else. I don't know where you are. I don't know where you're in your forgiving space. I don't know where you are. And maybe I don't want to rock the boat even more by like, okay, let's have this conversation, and then it gets even worse. Like I don't want that, you know? So I feel like I've released it. It's like there's many things that have happened. It's water under the bridge.
Right.
Sometimes it's like I don't even understand how it all happened, but it did. And now it has. What I want is like, I wish you peace. I don't want to harbor anything negative in you. And I know because my guka was like that. And I know it's him here peering at me.
Ridia wagu. What have I taught you?
Yeah, I feel like for his spirit carries on in a way that he was a peace man. He had boundaries and he didn't play games. But he wouldn't be harboring something with someone. He wouldn't. Yeah. He wouldn't. So I'm embodying his spirit by doing the same.
Yeah. Honestly, nothing like a death to truly make you see and bring those things up.
So another thing, plan yourself.
Oh my God.
You before you pass. Like when you get to a certain age, get things sorted. Because Mkasi, the premise of this show is poor planning.
And this guy already had a heart condition. So you knew you were kind of on the way out. Even though technically we are all on the way out.
We're all on the way out.
We are.
But there's some signs that are coming.
Yeah.
You're over 60. Get it together.
Number one, yes.
Get it together.
And the wealthier you are, the more you need to plan. If the only thing you own is a Subaru and a wardrobe of clothes, then it's fine. It's like, we'll give your brother or we'll give whatever.
But people fight about that too.
You're right.
No, he would have wanted me to wear that shirt.
No, he would have wanted me to have the shirt.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Plan yourself. A whole show.
What of yours would you want them to give me, by the way? Your phone?
I think my secrets would be safe with you.
I think so.
I think you know them all.
I think so, definitely. I would want you to have like probably my jewelry.
Oh my God, I love jewelry.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's nice. Plan yourself.
Yeah, even you.
Yeah. Me, my next of kin is my sister. Everything goes to my sister.
Is she your beneficiary as well? Because next of kin is not necessarily beneficiary, and you would know that if you follow Ivy.
Yeah, I remember. I think you said this before, or she said it here.
Yeah, I think maybe she said it.
Yeah, but anyway, we've had it before.
Is not beneficiary.
Because you see, I'm not planned.
That's the thing.
You should plan.
So you see, you've said it, but technically, if you are unmarried, it would go just to your mom. Yeah. Everything will be one.
But it's fine. My mom, I know my mom's a wonderful person.
That's it.
Yeah.
How many people do you think Jackson Kombe was probably saying? Jackson Kombe is the guy who has died in Mkasi. Was probably saying, my wife is a wonderful person.
No.
My
he wasn't.
Son, my daughter is a wonderful person.
I know that man when he was alive, he was battling. Because remember in the picture, like now, mind you, he's just died.
Yeah.
And then the wife goes to the picture and she's like, "You've embarrassed me
in real life
and in death."
I was like, girl, he's been dead 2 minutes.
2. No, literally 2. She just came from a conversation with her children about the death and she's here.
Yeah. But there are so many themes to be explored in that show. This concept of like side chick, which clearly she knew that the guy had a side chick.
She was,
but seemed oblivious or like just like, whatever. But I'm just like, I mean, I don't know. But
I feel like there's an age that people feel like it's like, okay, am I going to divorce you? Am I going to accept you?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
There's a whole other theme of religion on this side, and you'll see why. And then there's a theme here of like parent.
There's no religious theme.
There's
a pastor that
to me, and don't invalidate my religious theme. Thank you. There's themes of like there's even marriage, because there's a marriage between like now the guy's son and his wife, which is kind of like
also the dynamic really between the mom and the daughter. There's something there.
Strange.
Yeah, there's something there.
There's just a lot of like, family drama, family dynamics. I would say this show is different from others that I've watched like locally. One, in terms of the speed of which it's going. Lydia and I love that so much. I want every episode, every scene needs to be like, it's like there's a point to the scene. Do you know what I mean?
That's my favorite thing about it. And that's exactly what's keeping me glued, because it's like we're moving forward.
Exactly.
Also, they had a budget.
Oh,
they had
girl.
a budget.
Kuna
We
pesa
love that,
wametumia.
DSTV. We love that you're doing that, because we saw, like, you can see like the quality of how everything has done. Even when they're going to the funeral, there's like like cars on cars on. We're like, hey,
Prado,
hey.
what? Hey,
yeah,
they're
and
like, wow.
actually that's a big part to how people receive shows, because it's just like, oh, we are seeing that there's a lot going on. I think also Shanga had a budget.
Exactly.
Yeah, they had a budget.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's positive. The storylines are like, feel like they're relatable, even though it's not about me. I can relate to someone who's like a head of the family passing away and all the dynamics that come with the death. Yeah, it's very relatable.
Definitely very relatable. Remember, you can catch it in your Boma Ya Local, which is Maisha Magic Plus, channel 163 on DSTV. You will not regret it. Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. Watch this show.
You won't.
And then come down here below and comment and let us know if any of the themes stood out for you, or like what stood out for you. I feel like there's so much more that could be said about like things we've learned from family. You see what I meant? I had like 11 points. I think I've only done like 5.
I know. Well, those are some of the ones. Tell us, guys, in the comments below, what have you learned about family from your family? Sorry, it could be about things that you've seen in your family. It could be something that someone taught you specifically, but something that you're taking on and you're learning and putting into other places in your life.
Exactly.
Let us know below.
I've
loved this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, and I like one of the things that we connect on is that we're family oriented.
Exactly.
I love that so much about you.
And also me, it challenges me sometimes when it's just like, I know you've been out like on a Saturday night and then Sunday I'm like, oh yeah, you show that like you went to see your show like your family. I'm just like, wow, that's you putting effort. Like you're a single woman who could be doing anything on a Sunday and you've chosen to go and visit your family. That means a lot. Like there's a lot of people who you've not called your mom, just calling her. She probably lives up at Langata and you've not called her, you've not spoken to her, you've not seen her in a year.
Yeah. Assuming there's no bad blood.
There's no bad blood. Yes. Sometimes it's just like, oh yeah, I know. No, she knows I love her.
Yeah, please,
call them, guys.
Please go. Do what you can for family when you can.
Exactly.
And this is not, again, to condone abuse or terrible behavior, but the ones who you're good with, be really good with them. Be really good with them. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for watching yet again another episode. We will see you on our next one.
Bye.